So the name Bucks Fizz, where did that come from?
Now that came when we finished doing the demo in the studio. Didn't take very long, a couple of hours. We're okay with it. I says, everything fine, everything is great, and he's just going to mix it down now. He says, fancy a drink? So I said, yeah, what we got? She said, fancy Bucks Fizz? And I said, oh, what's that? He said, champagne with orange juice in it. And Andy was sitting there drinking Bucks Fizzes. And Andy finished his mixing, didn't take very long. And he said, and so me and Nick were just chatting away. And he said, what's the name of what's the name of the act we're going to put this on? And she said, oh, stick down Bucks Fizz. 3, 2, 1,
Because obviously it was a huge transition. You know, you'd been in a couple of groups before, and then Nicola called you in to do the demo, and then next thing you know, you're on Eurovision. Then you've won it. It's like, what was the time frame that all happened in?
Well, the band was formed in January, and then we met up at Nicola's place. He said, right, you all know each other, Cheryl, Jay, Mike Boy. For the next 3 months, you're going to be known as Bucks Fizz.
For the next 3 months?
I think it was January, February, March, yeah.
Did you think it was only going to last that long?
If we hadn't won the song for Europe, we wouldn't have done any more after that.
Really?
No, nothing would have happened with the song, because they're gone, but the song that won is the one the BBC would push.
I guess so.
So they would have pushed ours.
Yeah, but the thing is, it would have been weird, because you would have, within the 3 months, you would have gelled as a group of people. So it would have been really odd.
We never really gelled, because never a gel there. It wasn't that kind of band. We looked like we all loved each other, and we just didn't. We used to work. It's working.
It's a job.
It's a job, and that's how we all looked at it. When we used to go home, Cheryl and I got a good relationship together. We really did. I'd never a relationship with Jay or with Bobby.
Right.
You know, it was just, we used to turn up, we used to meet, it used to be great. When we were on the coach going everywhere, we all looked like one big happy family. When we got home, we all just said, bye, off we went.
Really?
Whereas I'd go and I'd say, Cheryl, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Got you.
And we'd always meet up. We'd always meet up. But the thing was, I didn't want Cheryl in the band, but I wanted Jay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I remember saying that. When Jay came, I said to Nicola, she's really good. We've got to have her. She's really, really good. And Jay is very good as a solo performer, I think, but she's not right for a band.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a band, you have to be able to like blend in with everybody. Jay never really blended with us. She was very quiet.
Oh, you mean blend as in personality-wise when you're on the road and things like that?
But she was all right. On stage, she was so extrovert.
Got you, yeah.
But on stage, she was very introvert.
So how did it work when you were like in the studio and deciding, like trying to decide what tracks you were going to record on, who was going to sing lead on what? Like, did some of the issues that you were having kind of personally, did that come into the recording side of things as well? Like, did you have to fight to sing leads and?
No. That's one thing I never ever did that. I don't know if us ever had a fight to get lead vocal. Andy knew what he was doing. I remember he did our second album, Are You Ready, which had 2 songs on it, 2 ballads on it. One was Now Those Days Are Gone, and the other one was Love Dies Hard. And I absolutely loved Love Dies Hard. And I said to Andy, can I sing Love Dies Hard? And I remember Bobby, he'd already tried Bobby out, and Bobby said, no, I'm going to do that. And I turned around and said, yeah, but you're not the producer, Andy's the producer. And Andy said, no, I want you to do Now Those Days Are Gone, Mike. And I didn't even flinch about it. I said, okay, fair enough. And I loved Bobby's song more than I loved Now Those Days Are Gone. But when it was played to the record company, they all cheered it. They just loved it.
Now Those Days Are Gone. Yeah.
They said, this is a beautiful song. But it was very good how Andy did it. It's just all the vocals on it. It was all vocal at the beginning. It was a perfect song, and it is a lovely, and it is my favourite, one of my favourite Bucks Fizz songs. Not because I sung the lead on it, because the kind of song that it is.
The sentiment of it, yeah. It is.
And you could hear, you know, when we do it in concert, I mean, you know this, don't you, Darren? You could hear a pin drop in it.
Absolutely.
It's really, really good song.
It's really lovely because Darren has taken pictures from his drum kit and everyone turns the lights on their phone and they're kind of, swaying the light around. It's just beautiful, a little
I didn't
stars.
like him doing that because no one could see my face.
Actually, saying that, how does it feel to be a heartthrob? And that's what you are, Mike.
No, I tell you what, I never ever felt like a heartthrob of the band.
That's so odd. It's funny how you perceive yourself, isn't it? And how other people see you. Because I know that people just go, "Oh, Mike Nolan."
I was when the show used to introduce the band, I used to get the loudest cheers, but it didn't make any difference to me. It really didn't.
Yeah.
It never went to my head or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting any more money for it.
What, for being good looking?
It's all split 4 ways. That's all that mattered. If I was the only one pulling the crowds, in which I wasn't, because everyone had a favourite. Everyone had a favourite in that band. And Bobby was very popular. We were all very popular with the audience.
Yeah.
But it's all the teeny bops that liked me. All the mums used to love Bobby.
Oh, really? So you had the young crowd.
And I used to see all the dirty old men used to like Jay.
Right.
Because she was the sexy one. They really did. Not the dirty old men, the old men used to like Jay.
So where was Cheryl sitting then?
All the kids like Cheryl.
Oh, right. Isn't that nice? Everyone's got their little pocket.
Yeah, everyone a little thing there like that. And it was nice. But when we got together and we were in the studio and things like that, we used to sit in there listening to what everyone was doing so you could learn the song. Because you didn't know the song we went in.
Yeah.
Did it bit by bit.
Yeah.
And I'd learn mine as we're going over it. Even working with Mike Stock, Cheryl went and put the vocal down first, and then Jade went and double her, and then Bobby got and put his vocal down. I was the last one to go in, so I'd learnt the whole song.
Okay. Was that always the order that you did things in?
Yeah, we used to do it that way in the end.
Okay.
Yeah. And when we used to go in, I used to say to Mike Stock, I said, right, we've got a gold and you've got a silver album now and a gold album now with those vocals on. When I get in, I'm going to go double platinum. He used to say, in you go, Mike. And he used to go, da, da, da. He used to really laugh. But now he was another who liked my sense of humour.
Right. Yeah.
He really did. It was nice. It's just, I don't go around, this is my sense of humour to make you like me. It's just the way I am. Sometimes, I like after the accident, my whole personality really, really changed a lot.
Oh, what? In what way?
It was in a big way. I mean, Cheryl has said this to me. We often talked about it. Where my humour used to be very, not sarcastic, I had a dry sense of humour. But it'd gone really, really dry into a stage of sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't think I was being sarcastic. I thought I was being funny.
Right.
But I wasn't being funny.
Okay.
And Cheryl, I used to say, the trouble with you just moan about everything. And then one night the two of us were sitting there talking about it, and she explained it to me. I said, I would never say that to you just because you used to be a very, very funny guy. But you're not funny anymore. You're sarcastic. I said, yeah, but I'm trying to be funny, Cheryl. She said, it's not, Mike. You just got to be yourself. You're trying to impress people, and that's not how you do it. And that's when I really started to get into what I was doing, thinking of how to speak to people again. And this is all part and parcel of getting yourself back together after what we've been through.
Absolutely. Because you weren't aware that you were becoming completely sarcastic until somebody told you.
No idea about it at all. Cheryl used to go to pick the phone up, because we phone each other all the time. She used to go to pick the phone up to call me, and she said, she picked the phone up and she put it down again.
Really?
Yeah, she was too nervous to talk to me because she said, he's going to come up with some sarcastic comment and it's just going to annoy me again.
Right.
And she would tell that story herself. And I don't feel embarrassed about it. I feel sad about it because I never thought I was like that. But it was nothing to do with me. It was part and parcel of healing. Was when I came out of hospital, they put me on pills.
Okay.
And
Painkillers.
When you have a head injury, they give you, these are pills, they're for epilepsy. Now, I didn't have a fit or anything like that. They put you on them for safety. And these pills used to bring you right down, hence the sarcasm. You know, liven yourself up, try and, you know, join in. I didn't want to join in, nothing like that. So I became like, and I was on these pills for a long, long time. And when I moved down to where I am now, I had to get a new doctor. When I went and saw the doctor, he said, we have to do blood tests, we do this, do that. You need to come off these pills you're on because you've been on them too long. There's new pills out now for what you've got.
Okay.
And so we put you on them. And so gradually they eased me off one lot of pills, put on these new pills, and all of a sudden this new lease of life came in. And then I met up with Cheryl, and she said, so she kept doing, she said, what are you on? I said, not on anything. So, are you drinking? So I said, no, I don't drink. You know I don't drink. She said, you're changing. So I said, I ain't changed. I've always been like this. And she turned and said, no, you haven't. You used to be very laid back. I said, it's the old pills did that. I said, what do you mean your old pills? I said, I'm going to tell you I'm on new pills now. She said, oh my God, go back on the old ones, please. Because the other ones made you so down. And these ones do, they haven't brought me down. They've given me a new lease of life. And so all of a sudden, this new guy turned up again. And Cheryl was really happy about it. She was like, glad the old Mike's back.
It was you again, right?
And when Jay came back to us, I was already on these new pills.
Okay.
So she got to him and she said, he ain't changed, does he?
23 years.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. However you're consuming this podcast, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving us a 5-star review, as this helps us to reach a wider audience. Your support is very much appreciated. Now back to the show.
So when did you start doing solo work?
Well, the only one they can look up and they can listen to is In My Life.
Okay.
Mike Nolan, In My Life. The other ones is Rosa Cimarron and First, it's not called First of May.
Time on My Side.
Time on My Side. That was it.
Yeah, okay. And so why did
And
you...
Time on My Side is a good album.
But you're saying we can't get it anywhere?
The only way you can get it is off the on my Facebook.
Oh, right. Go to the Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. Tasha sends them all out for me.
Oh, really?
I think Tasha, there's two of them doing it for me. Tasha and Lara are doing it. I see it coming up on Facebook, and Tasha and I put it out, advertising it as well.
Oh, brilliant. And we can still get all 3 albums via Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's really good. So why did you feel the need to go solo? Were you harking back to the early years when you were just gigging around on your own, or what was the inspiration behind making albums?
No, I was never ever thinking about going on my own. The agent that was with us at the time, Dave Hahn, he came up to me at one of the gigs. He was sitting there chatting, because I talk to everybody, and I sat there chatting to him, and he said something to me about an album. I said, I'd love to do a solo album. He said, would you? So I said, yeah. So what, you planning on leaving the band? I said, no, I wouldn't leave the band. Just to do a solo album, it'd be different, because members of bands release albums of their own. But he said, but I've never really thought about it enough to want to go and do something about it. So he said, what about if I sort something out about it? So I said, yeah, do you want to do that for me? Like joking with him. And he said, yeah. And next thing, him and another guy got together and introduced me to a producer guy called Martin J, who's brilliant. And went into the studio, and we just did it. They chose most of the songs, which I wasn't very happy with, but I wasn't paying for the album. They were paying the money for it. So I went along with it. I picked a couple of songs on it. But then after that, I got friendly with Martin, been in the studio, and I phoned him up. I said about doing an album, but just me and him in the studio, because I didn't like the idea, because Dave was really good, but I wanted to be in the studio on my own, doing it with a producer and not have somebody in there. And so I went in, and this time David paid for the first album. I paid for the second album myself.
Okay.
And so I did that and the third one, and it worked out really, really well.
Did you ever perform any of your solo stuff live?
I did once. A fan came over from Australia to have a do with her family. She came on after being in Australia for a while, and she got her family together and asked me would I do a show. There was another one I did for a charity, and I sung 2 songs at that. But I really wanted to do it. It was a nice feeling. It was nice doing it because I did it all before, but been in the band for so many years.
Yeah.
You do depend on each other.
That's it. All eyes are on you then. All the
Yeah.
banter's down to you, even though I know you're the bantermeister.
But it's quite nerve-wracking. I was
Really?
I was so nervous. I'm nervous when I go on stage, even with the band, still. But when you go on your own, it's 10 times worse.
Well, the thing is, it shows that you're alive. It shows that you care, doesn't it, about
Yeah,
it? If you're
you
kind of
can't-
like, yeah, whatever, I'm just going to do a gig.
I don't understand someone who goes on stage, so you're nervous. I say, no. You're going to do a great performance, and aren't
Yeah,
you?
all flat.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I know, you are nervous. Well, you're nervous when you come on stage with us. Yeah?
We want to hear from you, Boobs. Darren's trying to be shy over there. Are you nervous, Boobs, when you go on stage?
Yeah.
Only a little. I suppose the confidence of knowing what you're doing helps, doesn't it? I suppose, that's the only thing I've
Yeah, but that's where I get nervous because everyone else goes on stage not knowing what they're doing except me.
That's what it is.
I just saw a pig fly. Did you see the pig fly?
You're the glue, aren't you, Mike?
No, I'm the worst on stage. I mean, I when we do our shows, we've been doing it for so long. When it's to go on stage, it's just to go wrong, just to change it a bit. Just make it a bit different.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, I believe that's when you're completely relaxed with everything. You can sort around all you like.
Yeah.
And no one can rollick you over it. So get lost.
Exactly. You're the turn.
Yeah, you're not my manager anymore.
You can't be told off. Can't turn off the turn. Tell off the turn. Turn off the turn.
Yeah. Could be worse than that. We won't go there.
Just making things up now. The instant fame, okay? Like the kind of instant, like, I'm Mike and I'm just going to sing this demo. Oh, and now I've won Eurovision and now everybody knows who I am. Like, how is that? That's mad, isn't it?
It's a brilliant feeling. I remember when we were in the studio doing the album, and I used to say to Cheryl, let's go for a walk. Well, because they're going to be ages doing this. Let's go for a long walk. So where do you want to go? So let's walk down Oxford Street and see how many people recognise us.
Really?
Yeah. We went out for about an hour and we said, I'm bored with this. Come on, let's get back quick. Because we were really getting recognised.
I bet.
And it was a great feeling. But today, when I go out on my own, I notice it. Because people will start looking and go,
Yeah.
because I'm with somebody, we're chatting. So I'm taking notice. But they notice it with everybody else. My brothers did. So my brothers a couple of weeks ago went and had a lunch together. And they could really see it. And they hadn't seen it for a few years.
Okay.
They said, oh my God, it's still going on. How do you live with it? I said, live with what? So I said, they're all looking at you. I've never ever had a go at anybody that's ever come up to me. One time I don't like it is when you're having a meal and they come up and ask you for an autograph.
Yeah.
Or if they're taking photographs of you. But at the same time, you can't be rude to them because the way I look at it, they're the people that actually put you there.
That's it.
And so you remember them on your way up, because on your way down, you're going to need them.
Absolutely.
And that's how I've always looked at it. So I've never, ever been rude to anybody. But, it happens all the time. And it's part and parcel of your life. And you get used to it. And it's not just, everyone that's anybody, everyone goes through it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The thing is...
how you handle it, that's the
It is
important
how
thing.
you handle it.
Yeah.
And also... because you're modest, I don't think you realise the impact that you've had on people's lives. It's
Yeah, you
like
don't.
you don't, and in the 80s and stuff, it's like there would have been Top of the Pops, and there would have been like the top 40 and whatever, like on the radio and everything like that. You're on the covers of all those magazines.
I know.
Like I'm sure there were people copying your outfits.
So much publicity, we didn't realise how much you were getting.
But that's the thing, and
Yeah.
the impact that you had, because I arranged for my old Italian teacher to come to one of the gigs. I can't remember where the gig was. And I said, yeah, come along. I said, were we married then, Bubs? I don't think we were married then. And I said, oh, yeah, my fiancé is the drummer in the band. And she was like... He plays for Bucks Fizz. He was like, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. I can get you some tickets. And so I got her the Access All Areas pass. I was like, yeah, come back.
Did we meet her?
Yeah. The whole time walking towards the backstage, she was like...
You see, that surprised me, how they shake and they come. One woman started crying. I oh, something upset you, love. So I said, no, it's you. So, and what have I done? She said,
Yeah.
it's just seeing you. So, oh, no, I'm human like everyone else.
It's huge. It's huge,
Yeah.
and like you said, the publicity, and there was just less kind of like stimuli coming in from all areas. There was like no Netflix, and there were like 800 million channels, and not that. That's not the reason why you've had such an impact. It's because, you know, you were there and in front of people, but because of the personality and who you are and your look and just your energy. You're one of those people who walks into a room and then we know that you're there. You're not.
Yeah, I'm here. Oi, I'm here.
How was it actually hearing yourself coming out of the radio, like in a shop or somewhere?
I remember the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard it was the day after we won the Song for Europe, and that was on a Thursday, the 12th of March, and I was travelling up in the car, and Mike Reid was on the radio with the breakfast show, and he played "Making Your Mind Up."
Wow. And were you like, it's me?
I was like a lunatic in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I was such a lunatic. I opened the window, I said, put your radio on.
Gotta be proud of it. It's huge.
But you know, I remember that morning, so I remember everything about that time. I really, my mind goes back to like years and years ago. I can't remember what I did last week, or things like that, but my mind goes right back to when I was a kid.
Right.
Goes right back to then.
And like when you talk about it, do you still get the feeling? Does the feeling still bubble up? Because you've had 3 number ones. Like that's massive. Like
yeah, we've had a lot of the success we've had has been the first 3-4 years of our career. It was just it was non-stop. But we were so young then. It didn't bother us. We weren't going. We were flying home. Why we came home, I don't know, because you have to be at the airport again the next morning.
Yeah.
So we're backwards and forwards all the time. We spent it must have been 300 days abroad and 65 back here probably.
Really?
Yeah, it was just on the go all the time.
I was going to ask, how often did you get to see your family? You know, friends and family, but like hardly.
I hardly got to
Ever.
see them. But I was still living with my parents at the time. I mean, because I couldn't afford to buy my place at the time because I was going from job to job all the time and just about managing to survive on it. Then all of a sudden you start to take off. And I never left home till I was 20, I must have been 28 when I left.
Really?
83. I was 28, yeah,
Oh, wow.
when I moved out. I should have moved out in 81, but we'd never have a chance to go and look for properties.
That's it. Yeah.
Because
No
on the go
time.
all the time. And then one day I just went and looked for somewhere. In 83 I moved into my first place.
Oh, wow.
And it was like heaven.
Or was it?
It was just, I mean, I loved living with my parents at the time, but just having your own place, living on your own,
Doing what you want.
it was just like, I can't believe this. This is my house.
Yeah.
Or my apartment at the time, because I moved into an apartment up in London, and it was just beautiful.
I bet.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Mum, when you left?
Well, at that time, when I left, they moved back to Ireland.
Oh, right.
But they moved over to Ireland in June, and they came over for, that was in 83, and they came home, I think it must have been about March time the following year. So it hadn't even gone a year.
Wow. They were like,
And it was at the end of that year. Imagine if they were living in Ireland when the accident happened.
of course.
That would have been just, well, been 10 times worse than that would
Yeah.
have been. So they couldn't settle over there because all their boys were over here.
That's it. It's too far, isn't
And my mum
it?
wanted to move back and she just wasn't settled over there. And I said, you're not going to settle over there. We'll roll over here. Well, I never see any of yous. None of yous come and see me. I said, Mum, we're all working. We come and see you the weekend and things like that. And I did say to her, I remember saying to her, I remember one thing, I'm a star now. You can't see me as much as me as you can. She said, I'm your mother.
That's she said.
I'm your mother. There'll never be another like your mother. That's what he said.
Oh,
Which is very true, though.
yeah, that is true.
There will never be another like your mother.
And did you, because we were talking about this before we started filming, did you say your mum wanted you to be an electrician?
Yeah. You're not a singer. Going to be an electrician. Go and do a proper job. That's what she said.
But did she ever say, actually, well done for not listening to me? You
No.
were right.
I tell you what happened in 1974. I was doing my first proper performance at the London Palladium. The real thing were on the bill.
Yeah.
Right, I was the first on, and then the manager went and got my mum from the audience when I came off. She said, Mum wants to see, Mum wants to see. So I turned around and she said, you were really, really good. She said, now do you believe I want to be a performer? She said, I believe you now.
Oh.
That's what it took to make her believe. Because she never thought I was a proper performer. She knew I was a performer, but not to be at the Palladium.
Okay.
They just couldn't believe it. But it was a great... My whole family were there. They came over from Ireland from it.
Really?
They just came from everywhere.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? You would.
To London Palladium. And that was it. There's one show I did. That was my big break. It wasn't a big break. The next day I went back to work in the warehouse where I was working.
What were you doing in the warehouse?
Stacking up cat food.
That's mad, isn't it? I was at the London Palladium last night.
But it's in all the local papers. All the local papers could see it. And I got a little bit of recognition. No, the recognition came from the people in work, all laughing at me about it. But when I left, I said to them, the next time you see me... No, that's what I said to them when I left school. When I left school, I said to the teacher, I'm no point my staying on here to these O-levels, things like that. I said, because they're going to be used to me for my work. She said, but you're going to be an electrician. So I said, no, I'm not going to be an electrician. I'm going to be a singer. They said, you're not a singer. And I said, well, Cliff Richard's a singer. Cliff Richard's a singer. Oh, I said, oh, Mary Hopkins a singer. These were stars in those days. Yeah. And they sent for my mum and dad to go and talk to me about it. And he said, you tell them people you're going to be an electrician. And I got in there and met the guy, and he said to me, so, Nolan, have you decided what you're going to be? So I said, yeah. He said, yeah, he's decided. Go on, tell him what you want to be. He said, you're going to still be a singer. He said, you're not going to be a singer. She went, because your parents could hear you in those days. And I left school the following year, when I went back to the 5th year, and I said to the teacher, I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm going to go home. I said, I'm leaving school today. And he said, sit down. You've got your exams coming up. So I said, no, I've decided I'm going to leave. I said, hey, what are you going to do here? So I said, I'm going to be a singer. He said, I'm not that story again. So I said, I'm going to be a singer. And the next time you see me, we'll be on the telly. The next time they saw me was on the Song for Europe.
So you're one of those people, aren't you? Who kind of speaks things into existence. Are you like that? Like you have your mind set on something and it's going to happen. But I'm thinking about things in life, like when you were like, I want to buy my flat. Did you have that in mind and it happened? Is it like that?
I definitely wanted to do. When I went into London, my mum said, you can't afford to live in. I said, I found an apartment I really like. She said, how much is it? I said, and at that time in '83, it was £64,000. Wow. £65,000. I said, you can buy my place off me for 38,000. I said, that's twice. You're paying twice the money for a flat up there. And my brother, and I bought the house from my mum. I bought it off her.
Did you?
And I automatically sought this place in London, bought it, and my brother said, I'll have it off you. So he bought it from me.
Hang on, you bought...
I bought my mum's house,
yeah,
and before they left, I'd sold the house to my brother.
And then
I moved into London. And when I moved in there, they loved it. They thought it was absolutely beautiful.
I bet. Which part of London was it?
Maida Vale.
Oh, darling.
I
Sorry.
know,
of course it was. What was I thinking? It wasn't going to be East Acton, was it?
Just off Edgware Road.
Of course.
But, you know, I didn't know. The estate agent took me to it. I didn't know where I was going to live. We just went, me and Cheryl went to an estate agent's.
Yeah.
And she said, we could take you to see 3 places. And the first place they showed me was the place that I bought. And I walked in there and I just loved it.
You just knew.
And he said, well, we think you need to see the other 2, because never go on first place you see. So I said, well, I love this place. They took me to see the next place. I just put my head in and said, no, not like this. It's awful. He said, you haven't seen it yet. So I could see it, just like the colour of the wall. I said, just go and have a look. So we walked in. I said, no, this ain't nice. The ceilings are too high. It makes me look like a midget. And Cheryl went, like that. And then the next place I saw didn't like that either. So I said, no, I'm going to take the first one I saw.
There you go. One and done.
And I moved into it, and I absolutely loved it.
Lovely. Maid of Vale. It's nice up there.
Yeah. And at the top floor...
Penthouse.
Well, no, penthouse is one that's on the top floor on its own, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
There's another block on the opposite of me. You come out my door, there's another flat opposite.
Oh, right, okay.
On the same floor. A nice lift in it, though.
You like a lift, Mike?
Well, no, these actually when the place I bought both had lifts in.
It just happened to be...
But I never used my lift. I always walk the stairs,
Because
always.
you're fit, because you walk to the gym for 50
No, I
minutes.
always use the lift because that's what old people use. Don't you say anything.
Yeah, Darren. Well, Mike,
Yes.
you've been part of one of the most iconic bands for the last 44 years. You've been through name changes, lineup changes, but you've been there steady this whole time.
Yeah.
And you finally did your last gig in November last year.
Yeah, I know. November the 20th it was. Yeah.
It's been a few months now. Yeah. And how are you feeling about the transition? Were you ready to go after all that time, or?
Oh, yeah, I definitely was. I mean, it was on my mind for... I tell you what, nothing happened within the band for me to want to leave. After, the lockdown time when we were off work for nearly a year, I began to realise it's actually nice not working. And then when you went back, it seemed like a pressure.
Right.
But we got back into it okay, because we carried on for a further 3 years. But I was just starting to get to a stage with it. I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I just had enough. And I remember when I told Cheryl and Jay was fine about it.
Right.
Cheryl really wasn't. She just wasn't. But, when you say to me now about how do I feel about it, I'm still glad I've left.
Yeah.
I would never want to go back. And the reason I don't want to go back is because it won't be the same. And what I've got, as far as that group is concerned, are all the lovely memories. There are bad memories, but the good memories totally outdo the bad memories.
Absolutely.
So that all the nice memories are there. And I talk about it, and people speak with me about it, like you are now. And I can talk about it with pride. I was really, really happy in it. And then when I got to the stage where I wasn't happy, it's time to back off. And I always used to wonder why people are leaving these groups. It must be a terrible thing to do. They must really regret it. I understand them now.
Yes, very much
And so until it happens to you, you don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was hard for the fans because it was like, oh, Mike's leaving, and people were crying and don't go and all of that stuff. But you got to do what you need to do for you, haven't you? It's 44
I thought the
years.
loveliest things that happened. You remember this, won't you, Darren? When we did the night at the Stag Theatre was where the last gig was, and I sang "Now Those Days Are Gone." And when I sung, I got a standing ovation. It went on for 10 minutes, didn't it? We couldn't stop it.
Lovely.
And I just stood and I looked at Cheryl, so I said, what can we do? She said, eat it, baby, eat it. Love it.
Just drink it in.
Yeah, and I stood there, and eventually they did stop clapping. It was quite emotional. But someone said to me, came back in the car, and said, did that make you feel that you'd done the wrong thing, Mike? So I said, no.
But you can't regret it because
No.
that 10-minute standing ovation was everyone showing their love to you and kind of saying thank you for...
It was lovely. It was really, really nice. And it made you feel as an artist that they appreciate what you've done.
Exactly.
And it's all. And I said to them, I want to thank everyone. The most important people I can thank are you, the audience, because without you, we have no career. And which was a true saying. I've always said it. And I still stick by it.
But thank you so much, Mike.
You're
I will
welcome.
give you a kiss and a hug.
There you go.
You've got to be on the outside because you're the star. You're the star. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to go and edit that 8 hours now.
8 hours. Oh, my God. Oh, I'll see how it turns out.
I'm joking. It's not 8 hours. About 12.